We understand that data migration could be a massive challenge in a newly implemented CRM system. Let's today talk about the three data migration issues and how you can resolve it. Good day and welcome to another episode of Whiteboard Wednesday. Whiteboard Wednesday is a series where we talk about how technology can be used to leverage and resolve complex business problems. In this series, we take up real life business problems and simplify them. So let's jump into today's problem, which is the top three CRM data migration issues. Now, you might be an organization who has recently procured a CRM, you have customized it to your requirements, and you're now all ready to import data into your CRM and start using it. However, you have had segregated data across multiple systems in your organization that you need to migrate into your CRM. And then you might be in a situation where you're thinking how I can simplify that, how I can do it in a manner that I get most out of my CRM implementation. So, here are the top three problems that you might be facing during the migration show and how you can resolve them. So, the first problem that we have seen many of our businesses mentioning about is the stakeholders say, I need everything. So, if you are speaking to your stakeholders and you ask them that what is the data that you need in our CRM, and the answer is that they need everything, well, that is going to be a bigger problem for you. The reason why I say that is that you might be having a cloud-based CRM, and the cloud-based CRMs use storage in the cloud, which is a tad bit expensive than the usual storage that you can buy in a hard drive, because there is a lot of data redundancy out there. There's a lot of backup and restore services that are included with that space. Hence, you pay a premium for that space specifically with the CRM. So, if your stakeholder says that I need everything, and it could be a system that has been segregated around various systems in your organization for 3 years, 5 years, or 10 years. It could be gigabytes of data that you cannot even afford to move and put into the cloud altogether in CRM. So, how you can resolve this problem? Well, the first and the foremost thing you should do is you ask what are the core data fields that they are in the CRM. Now, example of that could be a contact. A contact could have 15, 20, 30 fields depending on how complex your contact is. So the first thing that we recommend asking your stakeholders is what are the core data fields in the customers? What are the fields that you look into a customer on day-to-day basis? And that's how you'll be able to figure out the core data set of customer fields that you absolutely need and can get rid of the fields that you don't need at all. The second one is how many years old data do you need? Now, you might be having a customer who is in your database for last 10 years and you never ever had an interaction with them. Is that actually a customer? Do you need that customer information in your new CRM? Is that customer information even true? Does a customer still lives in is running business in the same same building location as it was 10 years ago? Do they have the same contact number? The person, the point of contact for that customer, is he still in the same organization? So you have to ask how many years old data is worth to you and how many years worth of data must be in CRM. One of the customers that we worked in the past had a compliance requirement, and that is a legitimate requirement that they need to keep their customers' data in the system for 5 to 10 years. So we asked them, okay, out of let's say 5 years of data, how many customers do you interact still? And the answer was that at most it goes down to 2 years. So quick resolution for that was we were able to archive, we were able to take 2 years of data, put it in the new CRM, and any data which was older than 2 years, we were able to archive that into the Excel sheets and into cloud storage like Azure Blob or OneDrives. So that way the compliance was met and customer was able to have a clean CRM solution with up-to-date contacts in there. The second problem that we have seen with many of the businesses mentioning is that they want extra fields for some director's report. Now, this happens quite often. We have seen many stakeholders when we're having a meeting with them, they say, oh, we want these many fields into our system because we need to either have a report for our CEO, for one of the directors, or some executive manager. Now, we understand that those reports needs to be developed, but it is not necessary that those reports are serving the purpose that the director want. Like an example of that could be a director might be asking a report about how many persons are living in a property. Now, and you might be collecting the first and last name and probably date of birth for all of them. So if there's a family for in a house, you're collecting 3 fields for each of the resident in that property. So it's 3 for the 12 fields data records in there. Now, if you can have the ability to ask the directors or the CEO managers to have a 30-minute short meeting and go through their reports and just ask them why they need it and what they do with those specific fields, it could be a easy way to figure out whether you can streamline that number of fields that you're having in the report. The reason why I say that is because the director might come up and say, all I need to know is how many people are living in that property. Now, answer to that could be just one field which says number of residents, and that will resolve the problem and meet the requirement. So I must suggest that if you're going through the process of changing the CRM, which happens probably 3 to 5 years difference of an organization, it is quite vital that you go and have this discussion with directors. They will understand. They are the one who are paying the money for this CRM probably through the organization. They are the one who will be responsible for this decision. So if you go ahead and ask them that what are the fields that are important to them and how they use it, why they use it, it will give you a better visibility of what data you want in your CRMs. Also ask your IT implementation partner or the developer who's working on it the data, if whether that can be derived or not. An example of that could be you might be collecting 2 fields. One could be date of birth and one could be age. Now, nowadays the tools that we get for reporting purposes are very smart. You can use various formulas, you can do various calculations, and clearly the age can be derived from the date of birth. So these kind of tools can help you to reduce the clutter in your CRM, and you can have the derived fields put into the reports for which you don't exclusively have a column in your CRM. The third one is exactly same reports as previous. And now we have seen many stakeholders mentioning that when we ask them, okay, what are the reports that you would like to have in the new CRM? And the answer is exactly the same reports that we had in our old system. Now, if you get this answer, you have to take a step back and you have to ask them, let's start with, do we still need those reports? And the answer obviously is going to get is yes. Then you say, okay, what do you do with those reports? The answer could be, I look into 2 columns of this entire report and make a decision. Brilliant. Even if you get that answer, that's a win. Because you'll say, what if I tell you that I can create the same report with those 2 columns that you need? If the answer is yes, you probably would have reduced 8 or 10 extra columns in there, which could have saved you gigabytes of data in the next 3 to 5 years. Similarly, once you have got the report, you can also ask them, is there a way we can simplify it? The 2 columns that you're looking into, there is another report we're generating for another manager which already has that report. So if you provide that report to you, will that work for you? If the answer is yes, you have saved implementation process and data migration for 1, 2, or 3 or 4 reports. So this way you can remove all the clutter that you might be accumulating in CRM, having a fresh, clean slate, and only get the data which is specifically required for your customers today and for the future. I really hope you liked this episode. Please let us know in the comment section what you feel about the top 3 CRM data migration issues, and if you're facing something different than what we have discussed today. And I would like to request you to please like, follow, and subscribe us. We are really pleased with the way you're interacting with us, the support that you're giving us. We are hoping that this will keep on continuing, and hope to see you soon.